Welcome to It's the Muppet Show podcast. I'm Heather.
I'm Jason.
Today we're watching Season 1, Episode 11 with our very special guest star, Lena Horne.
Lena Horne!
Yeah. This episode originally aired on November 1st, 1976 in New York.
Yeah, so Lena Horne, I know her from 3 different places personally. Mm-hmm. The Muppet Show,
Sure.
Sesame Street, and The Wiz.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I don't really know her from too many other places.
No, she didn't have a huge TV career. She was in a bunch of movies. She was a kind of one of those MGM studio artist or studio actresses. So they would just kind of hang around the studio lot and be thrown into movies. So she has a really large movie library back in like the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, I guess she was so connected to the studio system that it's actually brought her a little bit of trouble. I don't know if you came across that. She had trouble with the Hays production code during the early part of the 20th century. So she was like blacklisted during when they were having
the McCarthy era,
the commie scare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't know that's what you were talking about, but yes. Yeah, and she was an activist from really early on. She began her career in the Cotton Club in Harlem, which is funny because she has like almost a Southern accent that you pick up in. Anyway,
she has a unique singing style.
She has a unique singing style. She has that kind of mid-Atlantic accent that doesn't exist anywhere. It is really like not real. But she was from an upper middle class black family, which was prevalent in the 30s, and class warfare destroyed. Right. But she was from a really educated, professional family that put her into, an avenue where she could really do what she wanted as an artist.
Right.
But also was able to be really vocal and was incredibly well connected. Like she, I'm going to just talk about her activism for a little bit because it's very interesting. So she, her name is on the International Civil Rights Walk of Fame. International Civil Rights Walk of Fame. I get lost in that. At the Martin Luther King National Historic Site. So she was an activist in World War II. She sang for the black military camps. She was an advocate for Japanese American. She advocated for Japanese Americans against discriminatory housing. So when all of the internment camps happened, she helped people get their housing back because they'd lost everything. Which is a whole other conspiracy and is terrible.
Right.
Like it was like the California farmers who were like pushing for the Japanese internment camps to happen so that the Japanese farmers would be taken off their land and they could buy it very cheaply. Oh, gosh. That is a huge aside, but something that people should pay attention to. So in addition to that, one of the longest running things, which is ridiculous. She worked with Eleanor Roosevelt, who Eleanor Roosevelt was trying to pass anti-lynching legislation, and she started this in the really early 30s. Anti-lynching legislation. It seems like that should not be something that's difficult to pass.
Right. God.
However, Lena Horne joined her in the 40s and worked with her on anti-lynching legislation through the 60s. In the late 60s, when by the late 60s, they still hadn't been successful. There was still lynching legislation on the books across the country.
Yeah, it seems like that should have been.
It seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a interesting, terrible thing to come across.
Yeah.
But she also obviously performed at civil rights rallies in the 60s. She walked in 1963 in the March on Washington. In 2018, let's jump way ahead, she was featured on the 41st Black Heritage Forever stamp, features Lena Horne. So she got celebrated, which was nice.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And she was Glinda in The Wiz.
She was Glinda in The Wiz.
See where
all of that just, she was Glinda on The Wiz.
You see where the difference in our research is.
It's okay.
For sure.
Anything
That's
else?
all? No. I think
My entire thing, she was Glinda in The Wiz.
no, but her version of being green is one of the things I most know her for. Just singing Sweet Sesame Street songs.
Absolutely.
Mostly.
I mean, she is such a powerful voice, and we were watching this earlier, and she worked with Sesame Street for a couple of years before this was recorded.
Right.
So she knew her Muppet cast. She was really familiar with working with them, and her voice is great for it. I think she has an amazing voice, but she also knows how to sing with Muppets, which I think is a skill that not everybody has.
Yeah, sing and work with them.
Yeah.
That will come up as we go through it for sure.
And lastly, what brought her to London at this time? She arrived in April in 1976 in London because she was having a 4-night stint at the London Palladium with Tony Bennett.
Ooh,
So she
cool.
was doing a little musical tour and got some little Muppet time in on the side.
Perfect. What a way to spend your off time.
I know.
Sweet. Let's roll this one.
All right.
It's the Muppet Show. They're all looking good tonight.
Got your shiny tights on.
They do. I didn't look up who those particular Muppets were.
Their names.
Yeah, I didn't.
Fozzie,
So we got
Dylan.
Fozzie.
Just a terrible joke.
Yeah, about a horse that came in so late they had to pay the jockey overtime.
Yeah. Not a great joke.
That's quick though. Quick and painless on that
It's
one.
not even a dad joke. It's not good.
To introduce
Lena Horne. Yeah, Muppet Mob.
classic
She gets a
Muppet mobbing.
pre-Muppet Mob.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah. Nice little actual curtain parting.
All right. But now let's get things started.
Whoa. A little Frankenfurter at the end.
Foghorn blows when Gonzo hits the O, the big O.
Brr.
Oh,
Boys
so
and
I
girls
noticed that
don't
he does the frogs and dogs and pigs and chicken thing like he did in the Harvey Korman. Kermit does on the intro.
He just enjoyed it.
Yeah. And he introduces our first act, which he says was discovered by George the janitor. So that's cool. They give everyone a chance
Yeah.
to kind of look for an act.
It's the Ragmops, which I actually really love this song. I find it just kind of stuck in my head all the time.
It's a crazy song. And how would you describe what we're seeing here?
The Muppets themselves are made of like cheerleader pom-poms
Yeah.
on mop sticks. So the front guy is the actual Muppet. He has a mouth. He kind of looks like a shaggy sheepdog
Yeah.
made out of a cheerleader pom-pom.
But they're mops.
But they're
obviously.
mops, yeah. And then the back is all just mops with noses.
And they're singing the song Rag Mop, which is very appropriate. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a song about singing. It's basically a song about spelling.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree? There's a
Yeah.
lot of spelling in it.
And also just saying the alphabet.
Right.
That's not spelling, that's just saying letters. But the rhythm is fantastic.
So you may think that this song, out of all the ones we've encountered, was like a made-up song for the Muppets, but it's not. It's actually an Ames Brothers song, and they were a singing quartet out of Malden, Massachusetts, of all places.
Really?
Yep, and this song became semi-popular in the 1950s, and the Muppets themselves performed this on The Tonight Show in 1976.
With the same mops?
Presumably same mops, and you could they pulled back so you could see the Muppeteers performing.
Cool.
So we're backstage here, and Miss Piggy finds out that her song has been canceled for the evening. And, Kermit shows some real backbone at first by stating that, you know what, listen, there's singers, and then there are singers. And we have Lena Horne on tonight, and, you're out. And Piggy thinks it's because that she is more, that Piggy...
She's the latter singers.
Right. So she doesn't realize that she's the one that's actually weak.
Now we have our first
We
Lena
have,
Horne event.
Yep, Kermit introduces Lena Horne here for the first time. What do you think of this set?
I love this set, and I love that there's a real dog in the beginning.
Yeah, it's Muppy, and Muppy is intercut between real dog and puppet.
Who is Muppy?
That dog.
I mean, do we know anything more about Muppy?
Well, I mean, when you see her as the puppet, she looks familiar, right? She's in a lot of Muppet.
Oh no, I want to know specifically about that live animal. Like,
Oh, no.
whose dog is that?
Oh, right. If it belonged, it's no, I don't. I can look that up.
Cool.
Sure. So what's Lena singing here? She's singing "I Got a Name," which I know by Jim Croce. Mm-hmm. That's a very famous song by Jim Croce.
And so they're sitting on the side of a railroad track talking about a road. Just for the record, that just
Right.
was weird.
It's kind of a traveling song, though.
Absolutely.
And we have Hilda, we have Fozzie, Gonzo, George,
The Guru.
Mildred's back there, and yeah, it's great. And they're taking an already sad song and they're kind of slowing it down a little bit and making it more morose, actually. And you know what? I'll get a little dark this time, and I normally don't.
Go for it.
So I Got a Name, 1973 single by Jim Croce, as I mentioned. This was his first posthumous single. This was released the day after he died in a plane crash on September 20th that year. This song showed up in The Last American Hero, The Ice Storm, Django Unchained, and the Lego Ninjago movie.
Interesting. It has like a protest feel to it. Like it's very much a hippie revolution song.
Very hippie. Oh, you know what? We brought this up when we were watching it before. Can you describe Lena's outfit?
Yeah, I think you put it nicely. It's a denim kimono.
Yeah.
It is a...
Wow.
And it is super flared, like giant cuffs, giant
Huge
bells.
cuffs.
It is a outfit.
They have those big those 70s buttons.
The toggle buttons. That's what makes it kimono-esque as well.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, right. For sure.
And as we were watching this before, it was she sings smiling the entire time. Like she's a very tooth-focused person. And that reminds me of like Liza Minnelli, like that stage singer.
Yeah.
Like they're always
projecting
hugely
with their
smiling.
mouth.
They don't even close their mouth to say like M somehow.
Right.
And I like that she just bends down at the end to pet the dog, ignoring the chorus of people behind the trunk. I would do the same.
Statler and Waldorf, they love it. They could listen to her sing forever, but she doesn't sing that song.
Yeah, Statler's just being difficult as usual.
These guys seem extra bitchy.
Yeah, I think they're developing something there.
Yeah. So we're backstage again, and Piggy is still under the delusion that her act was cut because she was the more popular one over. She's kind of throwing herself at Kermit a little bit here. Kermit says he doesn't have any time for romance in his life. And Piggy kind of takes it over the top here, saying that the sun will never shine on this pig, and calling for death itself. Really very overdramatic, even for Piggy.
Yep. And then Kermit totally calls her out on it.
Yeah, he's really standing up to her.
Yeah, I think he pushed back a lot more in the beginning. Like he just he wasn't about to have it. He's also not about to tell her why she's not really on stage. But
true, better to have that. Muppet News Flash, and again, this one features the guest. We have Lena, and the report. She's playing a character, Miss Lola Bramswell, who has a unique diet where she only eats nothing but seaweed for the past 10 years. The only side effect that occurs is twice a day she finds herself going out, in and out with the tide, which is difficult because she is from Kentucky. It's a bad joke.
There's a lot of really bad jokes in this one.
It's true.
So
at the dance here.
Yep. The mops are there. It's nice seeing them.
Yep. George, Mildred, we have Zoot and Janice.
Piggy with old Piggy voice.
Yeah, she does have the off Piggy voice in this. Despite having normal Piggy voice.
For the rest of the episode.
That's true.
They must have just filmed a bunch of these. Like, and just chopped them up for a while.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah. And kind of like the end punchline here, the little whatnot Muppet is dancing with a blue frackle who blows his top. Literally. And you can tell they're shooting it on film because of that that pink ring that happens in the explosion. It's kind of cool.
The UK spot featuring Rolf.
Yeah, okay, so This one has Rolf and Zoot this time, though.
And this is such a moody song. Like I love these. I love Rolf. I love his moody, depressive atmosphere.
Yeah,
And bringing Zoot in with the saxophone. This is gold.
Yeah, it's extra moody with Zoot. And they are performing theme from Love Story. What do you know about Love Story? Anything?
This is I mean, you've heard this song. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know it when you hear it.
You know the song. Like
easy listening.
Yeah, but I don't know much about it aside from that. What do you know?
It was published in 1970. Music by Francis Lay. Lyrics by Carl Sigman. They're doing an instrumental version here.
Is this early yacht rock?
Kind of. It's very moody.
Yeah.
Let's see. The song was first introduced as an instrumental, as it is being performed here, in Love Story. Andy Williams recorded this at some point.
And there's some really good parts where like the play of the piano going like the really fast notes and the saxophone just slowing everything down and creating that depression throughout is gorgeous. It's a great song.
Yeah. If you like that easy listening, this is perfect.
I'm into it. Gets Rolf a little teary at the end.
It really does. He has to like mop up.
There it is. Little hanky. He's so into it.
He's touched.
Zoot just nailed it. Talk spot. FaceTime with Kermit and Lena and her teeth.
So this time, this talk spot is interrupted by Fozzie, and he's a little jealous. He wants to make sure that the guests, no matter who they are, know who Fozzie is.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he doesn't know who Lena Horne is.
No.
At least by sight.
Yeah. He gets called out. He's also missing all of the social cues like usual.
Right. But that's basically the joke is, he doesn't know what she looks like. And he's like, oh, you're going to wait around for Lena Horne to show up? I guess that's what I was going to get to. So Lena performs very well with the Muppets.
Yeah.
But occasionally she will give this very far away look.
Yeah, which I don't know if it's from like her singing, like that's sort of like that stage performance thing, or she's just zonked out on goofballs.
But she goes, it's either one or the other. She's either completely engaged in like fawning over the Muppets, and then like almost down the pipe of the camera lens, or just shy of the camera lens. Just
that 30-yard stare.
It's very disturbing. It's certainly a type of performing, I think. Yeah, Kermit's just trying to inform Fozzie that he is indeed speaking with Lena Horne, and he's just not getting it.
She's precious. Like when she just like, I mean, she smiles like 99% of the time, but then she gets these like snarky little looks on her face, and she's amazing. There it is. There's the emptiness.
Yeah. Oh, the emptiness into the endearing.
And checking out. And now she's back. Oh, and she pulls Kermit's line. Cute joke.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Swedish chef making some spaghetti.
Yeah. Now this one I liked. I liked watching this one. I mean, I like all of his cooking. But this time, okay, so he's cooking a little spaghetti here. It's very dry. He's tasting it. I do like that. But this spaghetti has a mind of its own and crawls off the plate. So knowing it's Frank's hands and Jim doing the head and voice, it's really kind of cool to see the interplay here as the spaghetti slinks off the plate and he just smashes it with the spoon.
Yeah, which is just somebody's hand. Like that actually probably hurt.
Oh yeah, the spaghetti, right? The
spaghetti's just a glove.
It might be on a rod or something. Maybe.
No, it's just a glove because it goes after his neck afterwards and chokes him. Like it's just
the spaghetti does try to kill him.
The spaghetti does try to kill him. The
Choke
Great
him
Gonzo.
Out. Yeah, Kermit introduces the Great Gonzo, and notice the side view that they had off, looking from side stage at Gonzo. That was very cool. I like that.
I like the lights. Everything about the set's really nice.
Right.
Animal comes along and pops his balloon, so it ruins his entire act.
Absolutely.
Audience boos and
he calls them yokels,
which I think he does a lot.
Yeah, he does.
And then Animal just eats up the booze because he enjoys it.
Yep. And they cut immediately to backstage dressing room with Lena.
Gonzo just lets himself into Lena's dressing room.
Yeah, he didn't even knock really. He's like, oh gee, they're booing. And he's pretty bummed out. He's pretty depressed here. And Lena's trying to console Gonzo, make him feel better here. And it leads into a song. And the song is "I'm Glad There Is You," parentheses, in this world of ordinary people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good song for Gonzo.
Yep.
And this is where she really starts showing that she can sing with a Muppet, because bringing down her voice so it doesn't clash with like the off key basically of Gonzo.
Right.
Because otherwise that could sound really clashy. She does it like she's talking, singing through a lot of it, but it's gorgeous. She does a great job.
Yeah, and another good example of just her kind of connecting with the Muppet, because she's pretty hands-on with Gonzo here. Just like...
Yeah, she's not afraid to hug a Muppet.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm Glad There Is You in this world of ordinary people was written by Jimmy Dorsey and Paul Madeira, and was first published in 1941. And it is a jazz and pop standard. So we're backstage, and Kermit explains to Scooter, after Scooter says that he loves being in show business, that sometimes you have to be ruthless, merciless, as they say,
Merciless,
and cruel. And Piggy kind of shows back up when Kermit ducks out. And Scooter finally sets Miss Piggy straight on why her act is indeed canceled.
Right. In
It's
classic
because-
Scooter foot and mouth.
Yeah, he's just like, oh no, Kermit says that it's because you're no good, basically.
That Lena Horne would outshine her.
Correct. And it's like, oh, sometimes the
I think Scooter takes the Piggy karate chop pretty well. Like,
yeah.
just like straight over.
Yep, because when Piggy hears that you have to be cruel, she shows Scooter what it means to be cruel.
Absolutely.
And karate chops him. It's awesome.
I think he takes it better than most people. Most people just like fly off.
They really do.
And Scooter just oof, right in the stomach. Fozzie's acts, classic heckling. I didn't like the heckling. I don't like a lot of the jokes in this one.
You think some of them are landing a little flat.
Yeah, in like the whole episode, there's a bunch of like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I noticed Fozzie does like a weird Japanese, like fake Japanese joke here, and I'm surprised. Normally that would have like triggered a Disney Plus warning, I would think.
Yeah.
Stuff like that has in the past, and this time it didn't.
Because they're just like, man, it's just a bad
It's
joke.
just bad. I do like I'm really cooking. I'm a medium rare bear. I do like.
Yeah.
I'm a rare bear.
A rare bear, and then
Yeah. And at the end, he does an impression of a man standing on one foot, and then no feet,
and falls over.
and then collapses.
So I have a theory about the bad jokes in this one.
Yeah.
That they kind of got rid of some low bar material because they knew they had Lena Horne, and mostly people would be focusing on that.
Right.
So they're like, nah, we don't have to like write the other skits that
Letting
well.
the jokes clunk a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we got a blackout segment here, and Lena asks Animal, who is skulking across the stage, to help her find her key after asking Mildred
For the key to her dressing room.
Right.
She just asks Animal to help her find her key.
Right.
And so Animal,
Smashes her in the foot with a mallet,
and she screams.
and Animal determines that her key is B flat. So we're in the backstage again, and this time Piggy finally confronts Kermit about her number being canceled.
Calls him a monster.
Yeah. And Kermit says that sometimes the truth hurts.
Which is a terrible setup to give Piggy.
Yeah, you don't want to give that pin to Piggy
No.
to knock down for sure.
So she karate chops him, and
In classic Piggy form, curb stomps him.
Yeah.
Again, right in the... Or gut stomp. Oh my god, it's great.
yeah,
So here we go, the banger of the episode, in my mind.
absolutely. Group singing song with Lena Horne, flexing her Sesame Street cred.
Yeah, she calls it out. She's like, have you heard of a little show called Sesame Street? Well, this is one of my... I'm on there sometimes, and this is one of my favorite songs from Sesame Street. And it's the song Sing.
Sing a song. And again, perfect singing with Muppets.
Yep, they got a perfect cadre here. George, Gonzo, Piggy, Wanda.
Rolf, Mildred, Fozzie, Kermit, banging it on the piano. And that dress. So she's wearing this just amazing hippie dress with what looks like purple leather panels.
Yeah, multiple fabrics for sure.
Yeah. Nice little peasant dress. Not in the modern peasant dress, but in the hippie peasant dress. I 100% support it.
So Sing is a song from... see what I did there? Sing is a song from 1971, written by Joe Raposo, who did tons of work for Sesame Street. He's pretty much their signature songwriter and composer. The song gained popularity in 1973 when it was performed by the Carpenters, who made it a number 3 hit. Joe Raposo is our second Massachusetts alum this evening. He's from Fall River. Do you know the Spanish version of this song from Sesame Street?
No, I really wish I knew how to say sing a song in Spanish, because it seems like I should be able to.
Canta.
What?
Canta? That's sing. But I'm not going to sing it in Spanish if that's what you were trying to cue up.
No. Just wanted to know
Yeah.
the Spanish version.
Yep. Geez, it's been sung a number of times on Sesame Street, and it is pretty much a standard. There's a whole separate Muppet Wiki page, and we use Muppet Wiki a lot here.
Yep.
By the way, obviously, thank you, Muppet
handy.
Wiki. There's a whole separate Muppet Wiki page on just this song and its appearances, as well as Being Green. And that brings us to the end of the episode. A really good episode, too.
Oh, it's a ribbon dress.
Oh, very nice.
I just realized. So, Lena Horne, also being partially Native American, ribbon dresses are a traditional dress of Native American people.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And at the end, she suggests that Piggy gets her own number. So that's very nice of her. Oh, and Kermit was so swamped, he couldn't even say good night and see you next time on the Muppet Show. It's a riot.
Everybody wants to be around Lena. That's a massive Muppet mob.
She took the full Muppet mob, which was crazy. That's awesome.
Thank you, Lena. That was lovely.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think?
For the most part, loved it. They got away with just dropping some subpar jokes.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, it was definitely, this one I feel was more, I was more into the guest than the Muppets almost in this one.
Yeah.
It was about equal, but I mean, Lena definitely shined in this one for sure. Let's see, who do we have next?
Peter Ustinov.
Ooh, that's gonna be an interesting one, I think.
Yeah.
Let's just leave
Gregarious man.
Yeah. Still looking forward to talking about it, though.
Absolutely.
For sure.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us this time. For more It's the Muppet Show, check us out at itsthemuppetshowpodcast.com. You can also listen and watch clips and full episodes at /It's the Muppet Show Podcast on YouTube, where you can like and subscribe if you want.
Like and subscribe.
And please feel free to contact us at
MuppetShowPodcast@gmail.com.
That's fantastic.
MuppetShowPodcast@gmail.com.
Say it again one more time.
MuppetShowPodcast@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Let us know what you're thinking.
And you can hear us on all podcast providers and like and follow along there. Till next time.